Welcome to the Know Your Numbers module. Our goal today is to help you understand the key performance indicators, or KPIs, that are crucial to your role and ultimately the success of your shop. By the end of this course, you'll have a solid grasp of which KPIs to track and how to interpret them to drive performance improvements. Before we dive into the specifics, let's take a moment to understand why tracking KPIs is vital for service advisors. KPIs provide a measurable value that demonstrates how effectively a company is achieving key business objectives. They're crucial for identifying areas where you're excelling and opportunities for improvement. The first KPI we will focus on is an essential metric in our industry known as the average repair order, or ARO. Let's start by defining what ARO is. The average repair order is the average dollar amount that a customer spends per repair order. In simple terms, it's the average cost associated with a single service visit by a customer. Now, you might be wondering why ARO is so crucial. There are two primary reasons. A higher ARO reflects the ability to maximize sales opportunities per customer visit. It means that, as service advisors, you're effectively identifying and communicating additional services or repairs that customers may need. An increased ARO is an indicator of your efficiency in upselling. When done correctly, upselling not only enhances the customer experience by ensuring their vehicle is well maintained and safe, but also boosts business revenue. To improve ARO, consider these strategies. Ensure that each vehicle receives a comprehensive inspection. Identifying potential issues early allows you to offer valuable recommendations to the customer. Take the time to explain why certain repairs or services are necessary. Educating the customer builds trust, making them more likely to agree to additional services. Offer package deals that bundle related services at a discounted rate. Customers appreciate the value and convenience of getting everything done in one visit. Implement a system for follow-up reminders for scheduled maintenance or recommended services. Consistent communication keeps your services top of mind for customers. Now let's move on to how you calculate ARO. Imagine in a month, your service center completes 100 repair orders, resulting in a total sales revenue of $75,000. To find the ARO, you will simply divide the total sales revenue, which, in this case, $75,000, by the total car count, which was 100, giving you an average repair order of $750. Understanding and utilizing the average repair order effectively can significantly impact your success as a service advisor. By focusing on maximizing each customer visit, you contribute positively to both their satisfaction and the company's bottom line. Next, let's talk about gross profit per hour and gross sales per hour. These metrics measure how much profit or sales are generated for every hour billed by a technician. It's a critical measure of your shop's productivity and efficiency. To calculate these numbers on a given repair order, you simply take the total sales or profit and divide that by the number or hours billed on that repair order. As much as gross profit percentage and the total sale amount are important, allow me to explain why these two metrics are critical. Imagine this scenario: a technician replaces a set of ready-mount struts that you bill 4 hours for and your gross profit is $700, which would be $175 per hour in gross profit. But if the technician completes the work in just 2 hours because he is super fast at suspension repairs like most technicians tend to be, your effective profit doubles to $350 per hour for those actual hours worked. Now consider the difference between replacing an engine versus multiple sets of struts. Replacing an engine booked at 15 hours might generate $2,625 in gross profit if you have the same gross profit per hour as the struts. But in the same time, it takes your technician to replace that engine. He can replace 7 sets of struts, which could yield $4,900 in gross profit, with fewer headaches. The goal isn't to stop doing large jobs, but to recognize opportunities where smaller, quicker tasks can enhance your profitability and efficiency. Understanding gross profit per hour and gross sales per hour can revolutionize how you view operations in your shop. Now, the last few KPIs we're going to go over will be close ratio, gross profit percentage, and car count. Your close ratio is the amount of work you presented versus the amount of work you actually sold. So, for example, if you had a $10,000 repair order that you presented with multiple repairs and the customer approved $5,000. To find your close ratio, you would just simply take $10,000 and divide it by $5,000, which would give you 50%. So what is a good number, you might be wondering? The average service advisor without training or coaching usually runs between 25 and a 40% close ratio. Most shops try to strive to get their service advisors to have a 50% close ratio. I've seen some really good rockstar advisors get as high as a 60, 65, or even 70% close ratio. I personally would always be in the 60 to 70% range when writing service. Now, as far as gross profit percentage, very similar to how you calculate the gross profit. You would take the gross profit dollars and divide that by the sales total of repair order instead of the hours, which would then give you a percentage. So if we have a $1,000 repair order, and after you take out the cost of the technician, which we use as a cost of good and the cost of the parts, there's $600 left. You divide 1,000, and by $600, thus giving you 60% gross profit. Most shops have been taught for years to always try to have a 55 to 60% gross profit percentage, which is great. However, like we talked about earlier, with the gross profit per hour, we want to make sure that we're not just focusing on gross profit percentage, because the gross profit per hour comes into play as well. Looking at both of those numbers together will help you maximize the capacity of your technicians. Lastly, let's about car count. This was one of my favorite things to track because I love getting as many cars in the door as possible. Tracking and increasing car count is one of the things I've always loved. We've helped shops go from 4 or 5 cars a day up to 50 cars a day. The way I look at it is this: I'm a huge sports fan, and the more at-bats you get, the better chance you're going to get that double, triple, or home run. You need to get those runners on base to have more opportunity to score. That's what it's all about. The more cars we get into the building, the more opportunity we have to get more sales. It's really simple to track car count. Literally, you just have to look at the amount of repair orders you have. Most shop management systems will be able to give you a graph or a chart to compare these numbers to different time periods as well. Now that we've gone through a few key performance indicators or KPIs, it's time for you to grade yourself. So now what you're going to do in the next portion of this course is you're going to listen to 4 phone calls, 2 for cars that were approved, followed by 2 for cars that were declined. You're going to upload those calls into your profile, and then you will submit what you feel is the good, the bad, and the ugly about those calls. After that, you will move on to the next section of our course, where we'll start diving in deeper into how to increase your sales, your tech efficiency, and help you become that rockstar service advisor that you've always wanted to be.